Hey everyone, it's Barb Teckle. So, this is your animal wisdom guidance for the month of March. We are one third into 2022. And first, I want to reflect again. I'm going to try to remember to do this each month, but I want to reflect on the previous month and what animal was our guide. And I don't know if I said this in the last video. I think at some point I might come on midway and do a short video, just a reminder of the animal for the month, just to, we can get so caught up in our lives and so busy with everything that's going on. Sometimes we forget that we have this guidance for us. And so I've been thinking about maybe it might be a good idea that I come in midway, remind you of what the message is, what the animal is that is guiding us, to help you through the rest of the month. So something I'm thinking about and percolating in. I will be away on vacation for a good part of March and part of April, so I may not start that until May. So we'll just see how it goes. Just something I'm kind of putting out there, and that I might do that I've been giving thought to. So last month we had polar bear, and polar bear, the message from polar bear was about looking at what was frozen within. And, when we look at on a collective issue, everything that's been unfolding since this year began, I think you can really see that. Individually and collectively, there are things that are melting away, that are exposing things that perhaps we didn't see before and that we're being asked to look at. But it's also about looking what was frozen within ourselves. Maybe there's a place in your life where there was something you didn't want to look at for your own individual growth. Or what was I going to say? Now I just lost that thought. Maybe it'll come back to me. Frozen within, frozen within. At any rate, I hope that message was helpful last month. And perhaps if you lost sight of that, it's something you can revisit again. Is there something still within you that maybe you're afraid to say how you feel about something? That's what I was going to say. And so maybe just start to test the waters with people that you feel comfortable with, and let that go, because, when things are frozen within, it's kind of hard to be who we are, right? So, yeah, just take a look at that. Just a reminder of that, of what last month's message was, on a weather-wise way to look at it. I live here in Wisconsin, and we're getting closer to spring. So things that are frozen are going to begin to start to thaw. And look at that. Oh, I'm just thinking about that now. So as things begin to thaw, new growth comes in. Look at what's going to come up from the earth, and that's going to create this new beauty in our world. Isn't that a great way to look at it? I really like that. So I'm kind of glad I expanded on that. And like I said, I might try and come in halfway. I'm feeling like, wow, that would be kind of a cool thing to do, to come in halfway through the month and maybe revisit that with that animal message for the month and expand on it. So, yep, I'm percolating right in front of you on the camera. Okay, so let's look at the month of March. So this month I thought I would pull a card from the Enchanted map by Colette Baron-Reid. It's not a deck I use real often, and I have it sitting. I have my cards kind of scattered throughout my space here out in Joyful Paws Cottage, and this one's kind of tucked up in the corner. And every time I'd come into my room lately, I'd be like, that deck kept calling to me. So I feel like that's the one we should use today, because I love the word enchanted with map. A map of where we are going, the potential of where we're going. And I love the word enchanted because I think sometimes when we look to the future, or we look at, what our dreams are, or we're looking at where we're going, we can become disenchanted by all the chaos and the conflict in the world. But we are here to live enchanting lives. We are here to live joyful lives. So I like the word enchanted and map combined together to look at the map as a really helpful source to help us stay in alignment with who we are and what we want and what our dreams and our hopes are. So I feel very chatty today. So hopefully this video won't be too long, but I just feel like I have so much to say. So let's pull a card from the Enchanted map, and then we're going to pull an animal card. And I think what I'm going to do today, I'm going to just hang on to that thought and we'll see how it goes. All right. So let's pull a card for the month of March as our theme. What is our theme for the month of March 2022? Okay, here we go. This is a big deck. Well, it's 54 cards. It's not overly a lot, but this one here is just really popping out at me. Oh, it is Heal the Ouch, and it happens to have two animals on it as well. So Heal the Ouch. There is fox and there is raccoon. So the fox has, gosh, that almost looks like, oh, it's a little ice bag. Heal the Ouch. It's a little ice bag on his head. His head hurts. Yeah, and then we've got the little raccoon who is playing nurse and trying. That is so cute. Heal the ouch. So, where is it within you that you are perhaps carrying some emotional pain? It could also speak to, I think, because health is such a big issue right now, it's really at the forefront of everything we've gone through in the past 2 years. Maybe it's about looking at your health and finding ways to strengthen your immune system, and so that you can feel the best that you can feel. And, I had this pop into my head, and this is probably just part of who I am, but, with the ice bag on the head of the fox, and I'm thinking about the head and I'm thinking about critical thinking. And when we don't take care of ourselves physically and emotionally, it's really hard for us to critically think and to also drop into that space of our own intuition and our own heart and what matters to us and what is the truth for us. So, the month of March, as this card says, heal the ouch. Whatever that ouch is for you, whatever that pain is for you, whether it's emotional or physical. And I do believe often a physical pain is something that has come to the surface from an emotional pain that we haven't quite healed yet or we haven't looked at yet. So just something to give some thought to. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Heal the ouch. It's a lot. There's a lot in this card. There's a lot. There's a big message in here. There's little messages too, but there's a lot here in this card, I feel like. So it's interesting, numerology wise, it's 38. And when you add 8 and 3, that is 11. And 11 is a master number. So this is a master teaching. This is a big teaching. When you think about heal the ouch, anytime we're dealing with physical issues or emotional issues, those are big things. So yeah, master teaching for the month of March. So let's look at what animal is going to guide us. And this I'm going to be pulling from a deck by Scott Alexander King, who is out of Australia, and it is Animal Dreaming Oracle cards. So I know he has a few animals that are only represented in Australia. So I don't know if I pull that animal, I'm not sure what insight I'll have. So we'll just see how this goes, see what animal shows up to help us with healing the ouch, healing the pain. I do have to say, I feel strongly about saying this on a collective issue too. This is really about healing the pain of division that we are in. Man, I'm telling you, that is so painful to watch. I'm sure you're experiencing that too, the divisiveness and the separation and, you know, really looking at what that is about and trying to heal that. I pray for that every day. I pray for that every day. All right. Heal the ouch. What animal is going to guide us besides fox and raccoon? So much symbolism in both of those. If you take some time to just, but I'm trying not to make this too long of a video, but maybe something pops up for you with that too. Okay. Here's the animal that's going to be our guide for the month. Oh, beautiful. Owl and deception. Right away when I see owl, I do think of that the inner self, and or the higher self. I'm sorry, I'm saying that wrong. The higher self. So when I think about the higher self, I always visualize it as this little me that is sitting here above my crown chakra. And so that little me, that little me that really is the higher self, connected with the universe, with spirit, with the divine, the all that is, that offers so much wisdom for us that a lot of times we don't tap into because we get it lost in our own thinking space. So when I see owl, I see it as a reminder to tap back into that higher self. Now, how do you tap back into the higher self? I believe it's tuning into your intuition and then also tuning into your heart in order to see a bigger perspective, but it's also to see that inner perspective that is right for you. Now, I do find it interesting that the owl is perched on the end of this piece of wood and is ready to take flight. And that's what happens is when we are connected with what is our truth and what is in alignment with who we are perched to take flight into the life that is right for us individually. It is interesting, the word deception on here with owl. I'm feeling like, I'm going to go with this. I'm feeling like deception is, I'm feeling like deceived. Deception, deceived. Is there something that you do feel deceived by? And why were you deceived? Maybe that's something you have to go within and again, tap into your heart and ask yourself, why did I feel deceived? How come there was something I couldn't see? Or was there something I can't see or couldn't see? And let's just look at let's look at Scott's guidebook also. Because the word deception is just really jumping out at me, and I just want to see what his thoughts are on that. Let's see. So this is card number 4. Now, 4 is a very grounding number. It's a very stable number. It's the foundation underneath your feet. So as I think about the owl perched to take flight, we have to have a solid, stable foundation in order to take flight. All right, number 4. Where are you, number 4? This is not in order. So let's see here. Owl. There you are. So I need new glasses. Page 36. Oh, that is really tiny writing though. So let's see, 36. An owl. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay. This is tiny numbers on here, and yeah, I probably need stronger glasses. All right, so the owl is a silent flyer due to the velvety surface of its feathers, making the element of surprise the strength of its assault, enhanced by the fact that the attack usually comes from a source completely unsuspected by its victim. Hence the word deception I'm feeling. The first that the unwary mouse knows of the presence of an owl is the pain of sharp talons felt in its sides. So I don't want to read this. It's really long, but let me look at owl's wisdom allows us to know when we are stuck in the content of our own lives, oblivious to the fact that we are wandering aimlessly through life. Owl sheds light on these moments so that clarity may be retrieved and stability salvaged. So I get right away when I look at that sentence, when we are content in our own lives, oblivious to the fact that we are wandering aimlessly through life, is like deceiving ourselves. Where are we deceiving ourselves and pretending, perhaps? By helping us to find light at the end of an otherwise pitch dark tunnel, Owl promises a time of approaching lucidity, new beginnings, and promise. I love that. New beginnings and promise. Because the more that we're willing to look within and heal, I know you've heard me say this 1,000 times, but it's what I believe. When we look within and we heal our own emotional pain, this sheds new light and clarity in order to take flight and live a true life, a life full of more joy and purpose. So if Owl has silently swooped into your cards today, you are being cautioned that you are perhaps being deceived by the apparently innocent motives of others. Owl's appearance may be a warning that you need to quickly ascertain the integrity hidden behind these motives and determine how they may affect or influence your view of the world. I'm going to leave it at that. That is a big message in itself right there. The integrity hidden behind these motives and determine how they may affect or influence your view of the world. Big message there. I'm going to let you ponder and simmer in that. If you would like to tell me how you feel about this message today or what's come up for you, I certainly would love to hear, because I love hearing all different perspectives, and you could leave that in the comments section. So what I do want to do today, because I'm so excited about what I'm working on, I am going to pull another card just for another piece of insight on this message, this theme that we have for the month of healing the ouch, healing the pain. And I have been working on my own animal oracle deck called, I've just lost track of what they're called. What am I calling them? Oh, animal reflections. Ugh, okay, animal reflections. So these are most of the cards. I have created these on wooden templates that will be scanned and created into cards. And it's a 52 card deck, and I have 17 more messages to write. So I'm not going to pull a card from the cards that I still need to write a message for, but I'm going to pull it from this deck, this portion of the deck, and just see what other, now I can't really shuffle these, so I'm kind of looking up, so I'm not seeing what I'm doing here. Just see if there's another little piece of insight to our message or our theme for the month. I don't want to drop these all on the floor. So let's see. These I've all written the messages for, and I'll just say something about that in a little bit. So we have hummingbird. This is so good. Well, first of all, we have two winged creatures. So this is really about learning to fly, on our own wings. It's about learning to stay connected to the spiritual realm. It's learning about staying grounded. I love the hummingbird as helping us to see all different points of view, all different perspectives, because think about how the hummingbird is really the only bird that can fly up, down, backward, and forward. So many different ways we can look at things, so many different directions we can go with our lives. But most of all, hummingbird for me always speaks to joy. And when we think about the card, healing the ouch, healing the pain, which is about trusting our own higher self, going within in our own hearts and listening for, what emotional pain or physical pain it is that we need to heal within ourselves. That's what brings us to joy, to living with more joy, right? How perfect is that? So the message for this card, which I cannot recall right now what I all wrote, but I'm sure joy is part of the message. Something I just wanted to say about oracle cards and why I love them is, even though there's messages that each author has written for their guidebooks, that you have your own interpretation as well as I do. And then there's also of looking at, where you're at in your life and then connecting how this message links into your own life for each of the cards that I pulled today. So even though I've written a message for each one of my animal cards, that I may pull hummingbird one day and say that has nothing to do with the message that I just wrote, because I may be at a whole different place in my life. But there's always something I have found in working with oracle cards and using them as a self-care and an inner journeying tool, that there's always something within the guidebook that sparks something in me, that actually adds insight, and helps me along on my path in life. So I just wanted to say that, give you a little insight as how I see oracle cards, how I work with them. And this has been such a cool exercise and project for me to be working on, and studying the behavior, and what else, and how animals live, their habitat and the behavior, and then how I see the animal, and then writing the message for it. And it's all about, my cards are all about helping you to connect with that inner wise self of yours, to expand and grow and to live the most joyful life that you can live too. So, how perfect that we pulled the hummingbird today. So, it requires work to look at the pain. But if we trust in that intuitive sense of ourselves and we trust in our higher self, it always leads to joy. It always does. So I love that happened today. All right. I know this is a long video, but yeah, I had a lot to say today, so I hope it was helpful. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do in April. Like I said, I'm going to be away on vacation, but I'm going to really try and record a video for you for April. If not, it might be a written blog post, and somehow I'll try and let you know that. We'll just have to see how it plays out. I'm really going to try and just enjoy myself, but I am bringing some work along too, because I really want to keep working on these cards and writing the messages while I'm gone. And since we're going to be gone for a good amount of time, I definitely see some opportunity to work on some things too, to work on this project that I'm enjoying so much. All right, I'm going to shut up now. I hope that message was helpful, and I will see you soon. Take good care, everyone. Bye bye.